Yes, Con and Sakina. Can you give me the answer?
Yes.
So who did Toto Chan say these words to?
Toto Chan said these words to his mother,
Her mother.
her mother.
Okay, good. Then where was the gate? Now, who else? Fatima. Would you give the answer?
The
Where
gate
was?
was the entrance to the new school.
Yes, and the gate was at the entrance. Okay. Why did Toto Chan think that the gate was growing? Now here see what I had taught you and what you understand is different thing over here. So be very careful. Why did Toto Chan think that the gate was growing? Merchant Sakina. Sakina, I think she has left. No problem. Then Tanzil, are you there?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Sakina.
Sir, here I think so. What was the problem? What was the question?
That yesterday I had sent the three questions reference to context. The third question I was asking you, why did Toto Chan think that the gate was growing?
Because as Toto Chan was going closer to gate, she was thinking that the gate was more growing because um, when we go closer, then we think that all the things grow like
Okay,
that.
okay, no problem. You can mute your mic. So that was her perception. First of all, she thought like that. But secondly, while I was explaining, I did not tell you that. But as she was going closer, she thought that it was growing. But actual thing was that why did she think? You know that living beings, when like living beings like us, the body, the size of the body increases. Same way here, when she saw the gate, at both the sides were the trees with the roots. So it had twigs and leaves on them. Means branches and leaves were them or were on them. So when does the branches and leaves come? When the tree is growing. If the tree is cut down or if the tree dies, then branches and leaves will not grow. So that second, the possible answer over here is that she even thought that the trees had branches and leaves on them. So she thought that the gate was growing, or you can say that the two gate posts were growing. So that we have to write over here. Okay, no problem. So now I shall present my screen and we shall continue with the lesson. See, had we completed this page?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So Sakina, read this. Merchant Sakina. Hello, Merchant Sakina.
Yes, sir. Sir, 1 minute.
Okay.
Um, auto rotate. Um, sir, you're okay. I got it. Toto Chen let go of mother's hand and raced up the steps, then turned around
Ab-
abruptly.
abruptly.
Abruptly, almost causing mother to run into her. What's the matter? Mother asked, fearing Toto Chan might have changed her mind because about the school. Standing above her on the step, Toto Chan whispered to mother in all seriousness, the man we are going to see must be a station master."
Okay. Okay. I'll explain. Thank you. Toto Chan let go of mother's hand and raced up the steps. So here Toto Chen, when she was moving ahead with her mother, they were going towards the office of the headmaster. So when Toto Chen was there, when she reached near the steps, the staircase, she left her mother's hand and she raced up the steps. Means she started moving very quickly, like she was running. then turned around abruptly. Abruptly means suddenly. Suddenly she turned around. She turned back to see that if her mother was coming with her or not, almost causing mother to run into her. So almost mother was afraid over here. Mother ran into her means mother almost thought that Toto Chan has got something else on her mind. What is she thinking? Why she suddenly started running on the stairs? Till now she was just calmly moving along with me. Now she started running. What happened to her? What is the matter? Mother asked, fearing Toto Chan might have changed her mind about the school. Then mother asked Toto Chan that, have you changed your mind? Means, don't you like the school anymore? Why are you running? What happened? So mother was afraid. She was afraid that Toto Chan might not like the school anymore. But standing above her on the step, Toto Chan whispered to mother in all seriousness, the man we are going to see must be a station master. So now Toto Chan gave the answer. Toto Chan's reply was this: the man we are going to see must be a station master. Means Toto Chan said that the man who is sitting inside the office, the person whose office is there on the right hand side, that person is not the headmaster, that person is the station master. Do you know what is the station master? What is the job of station master? Or who is the station master? Can can you tell me? Sakina, you are reading, so can you tell me? Station master.
Station.
So anyone else? Station
Which
master.
are on the railway station.
Yes, at the railway station, who is the station master?
A master who gives ticket for entering the train.
Okay. No, can. So
Sir, can I?
yes.
Station master is who tells that means who guides everybody that this train is at that time, and which who do all the things properly,
Okay.
make it
So
properly.
okay. So station master's job over there is that he takes care of the incoming and outgoing of the trains, the schedules of the trains, and if a passengers they have any queries, like suppose they have lost their luggage or anything like that, or theft of something, then they have to visit station master. Like he is the head over there, he manages everything at the station. At each and every railway station, we have got station masters. Different station masters are there. So that is station master. And Toto Chan said that the person whom we are going to meet, the person who is sitting inside the office, is the station master. He said that he is not the principal, he is not the headmaster, but he is the station master. So that was really funny. How can she call that man a station master? He was the principal after all. So now let's see. Continue, Sakina.
Mother had plenty of patience as well as a great sense of fun. She put her face close to Toto Chan's and whispered, "Why?" Toto Chan whispered back, "You said he was the headmaster, but if he owns all these trains, he must be a station master."
Okay.
Mother,
Okay. Yes, read.
mother had to admit it was unusual for a school to make use of old railroad cars, but there was no time to explain. She simply said, "Why don't you ask him yourself?" And anyway, what about Daddy? He plays the violin and owns several violins, but that doesn't make our house a violin shop, does it? No, it doesn't. Toto Chan agreed, catching hold of Mother's hand.
Okay. Just a minute. I forgot. So, see what is given over here. Now, when she said that he is a station master, then mother had plenty of patience as well as a great sense of fun. So here, mother did not scold the girl. Mother took it as in a funny way. She thought that yes, Toto Chan's point of view is correct. She thought from another point of view. How did she say that the man is a station master? Mother did not scold. She had patience. She did not get angry. She put her face close to Toto Chan's and whispered, "Why?" Then mother asked Toto Chan, "Why? Why do you say that the man inside the office is the station master?" Toto Chan whispered back, You said he was the headmaster, but if he owns all these trains, he must be a station master. So now Toto Chen gave the answer. Why did she think that the man was the station master and not the headmaster? Because mother had said to Toto Chen that the trains you see in the school ground, the railroad cars, belong to the principal, or you can say it belongs to the school. So who is the owner of the railroad cars? The owner of the train is the station master. The owner of the trains cannot be a headmaster. So that was Toto Chen's point of view. If the railroad cars are there in the school ground, then the person sitting in the office who is managing this railroad car is a station master. He cannot be a headmaster. He cannot be a principal. So that was Toto Chen's point of view, and she was correct at her point of view, not wrong. And she had a different thinking, like not like her mother. Then whispered this to speak very softly. Mother had to admit it was unusual for a school to make use of old railroad cars, but there was no time to explain. So here mother also understood that yes, Toto Chan is right that this school is really different school as compared to others, and she has also seen this school for the first time that can any school make the use of a railroad car? It was like next to impossible thing. So mother thought that it was unusual, very different kind of school, and but mother had no time to explain because they had just to get inside the office. So she did not explain Toto Chan anything about it. She simply said, "Why don't you ask him yourself?" So mother just gave one idea to Toto Chan that if you have this question in your mind that either he is a station master or the headmaster, you just ask this question to himself to the man who is sitting inside the office. As we get inside the office, you ask this question to the man that what are you? What is your job? Why don't you ask him yourself? And anyway, what about daddy? He plays violin and owns several violins, but that doesn't make her has a violin shop, does it? Now, now Toto Chan's mother is giving an example of Toto Chan's father. Toto Chan's mother said that you know that your daddy plays violin. Maybe he's a violinist, you can say, or a music player. So Toto Chan's father has a lot of violins at home. In the house, they have got a lot of violins. So does it mean that their house is a violin shop? Is it? No. If you have collection of something at home, does it make your house a shop? No, you just have collected that thing. Same way, Toto Chan's father has collection of violins at home. So that does not mean that their house is a violin shop. Same way, if there are railroad cars in the school, if there is a train in the school, that does not mean that this person is a station master. Does it? Same way, she explained with the example. Then Toto Chan understood that yes, mother, you are correct. No, it doesn't. Toto Chan agreed, catching hold of mother's hand. Then Toto Chan said, "No, mother, our house is not a violin shop." Now she understood. That same way, the person is not the station master, but still, she is mischievous girl, but still she will ask this question to the principal when she gets inside. Toto Chan agreed, and now Toto Chan said that yes, you are right, and she caught her mother's hand. Now, after catching mother's hand, they both will go inside the office. Now, someone else I want. Marin. Marin, is she there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry.
When Mother and Toto-chan went in, the man in the office got up from his chair. His, his hair was thin on top and he had a few teeth missing, but his face was a healthy color. Although he wasn't very tall, he had solid shoulders and arms and was neatly dressed in a rather shabby black suit. With a hasty bow, Toto-chan asked him spiritedly, "What are you, a schoolmaster or a station master?"
Okay, just a minute. So here, as it is given that when mother and Toto Chen went in, the man in the office got up from his chair. Now see, as soon as they got inside, that man who was sitting on in his chair, he just got up to welcome them, like just to give them respect. So he got up and he allowed them to come inside. His hair was thin on the top. Now see the description. This is the description of his appearance. How did the headmaster look like? See this. His hair was thin on the top. He had a few teeth missing. You can understand all this. You can just imagine his look. Just imagine how he looked like. And if you are unable to imagine, We have his photo. I will show you. So he had a few teeth missing. Then his face was a healthy color, means very. He looked energetic, you can say, not dull. Although he wasn't very tall, so he was of medium height. He had solid shoulders, means his shoulders were very of, you can say, of a good strength. He had a good shoulders. He was not very thin person. Solid shoulders here means very energetic, you can say, and he did not look very thin. His shoulders look very energetic, and arms, and was neatly dressed. And his dress, of course, his dressing would be neat and clean because he had a designation of the headmaster in a rather shabby black suit. Now here shabby, the meaning of shabby means old, which is very old, means you can say it is old but it is in bad condition. Now see here, the suit is black. I will show you the photograph, and it is in bad condition, shabby black suit. And that you will see the photograph and you will understand. This paragraph is about the appearance of the headmaster. With a hasty bow, Toto Chan asked him spiritedly. Now hasty means very fast, and bow means to bow down. In that country, in Japanese, they bow down and they give respect, to bend down in front of someone. So she bowed down and asked the man spiritedly. Yes, spiritedly means excitedly. She was very excited. She wanted to ask this question. She couldn't control herself. That is spiritedly. She asked, "What are you? A schoolmaster or a station master?" See how bad it looks. But Toto Chan was too young to understand this. Toto Chan asked this question. The first question Toto Chan asked to that man was this: "What are you, a schoolmaster?" Means the principal, or the station master? Yes. Now we can continue.
Mother was embarrassed, but before she had time to explain, he laughed and replied, I am the headmaster of this school. Toto-chan was delighted. Oh, I'm so glad, she said, because I want to ask you a favor. I'd like to come to your school. The headmaster offered her a chair and turned to mother. You may go home now. I want to talk to Toto-chan. Toto-chan had a moment's uneasiness, but somehow felt she would get along all right with this man. Well,
Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. So here it is given. Now she asked this question. See what was the reply. Now the principal, maybe he would have got angry, but he did not get angry. He was a very calm person. So mother was embarrassed. Now mother, when Toto Chan asked this kind of question in front of her to the principal, to that man who got this designation. So when you ask this kind of question, the parents feel embarrassed. They feel shameful sometimes. They don't like. So mother was feeling very embarrassed that Toto Chan asked this kind of question. She asked you this kind of question to the man who is the principal of the school. She's asking that, are you a station master or the school master? So mother did not understand what to do. But before she had time to explain, he laughed and replied, I am the headmaster of this school. So mother thought that what would be the reply of the man, but that man laughed, means he had a good sense of humor. He did not get angry. He laughed and he replied that, girl, I am the headmaster of this school. I am not the station master. So he replied very politely, very nicely. He replied to the girl that I am the principal. Toto Chan was delighted. Delighted means she was happy. She was happy that the principal gave the answer, laughing and smiling. He did not get angry. Oh, I am so glad, she said. Then the girl said that I am very happy because I want to ask you a favor. And now Toto Chan wanted one favor, one help from the principal. I would like to come to your school. So this was the second thing that Toto Chan said to the principal, the headmaster, that I would like to get admission in your school. I want to come to your school. Then the headmaster offered her a chair and turned to mother. Now headmaster said to the girl that you can sit down. This is the chair, you can sit down over here. And then what did headmaster say to the mother? You may go home now. I want to talk to Toto Chan. So now see, headmaster wanted to talk to Toto Chan alone. Maybe he wanted to take interview, or he wanted to know that is Toto Chan comfortable, wanted to know something about the behavior. So if mother was there around, then Toto Chan would be very comfortable. But headmaster wanted to be her alone so that he can understand. If you make someone feel uncomfortable, then the reality of that person will come in front of you. But if person is there with the family, then the person will be very comfortable. Like students, you are very comfortable when your parents are around. But when you are alone, your true personality will come in front of the people. Same way. See, mother then headmaster told headmaster told mother that you go home. I want to talk to Toto Chan alone. So Toto Chan had a moment's uneasiness. Uneasiness means uncomfortable. Of course, when you are with your mother in front of the principal, and when principal tells your mother that go home, I want to talk to this girl alone, then for a second, for a moment, you will feel uneasy that what is wrong. Like you will feel uncomfortable. Same way, same feeling was there of Toto Chan. But somehow felt she would get along all right with this man. But then after one moment, the next moment Toto Chan felt that no problem. I will be comfortable very soon. I will be all right with this man. I will not have any problem. I will not have any issues with this man. Whose mic is on? Please switch off the mic. Well, then I will. Okay, till here it is red. Yes. Now someone else I want.
Sir,
Wait.
can I read?
Your name, please.
Anjum.
Okay. You can read.
Then I will leave her with you. Mother said bravely and shut the door behind her as she went out. The headmaster drew over a chair and put it facing Toto Chan, and when they were both sitting down close together, he said, "Now then, tell me all about yourself. Tell me anything at all you want to talk about. Anything
Okay.
I like."
One minute. You can continue after a minute. So well then, I will leave her with you. Mother said bravely, and shut the door behind her as she went out. So mother agreed. What the headmaster gave instructions according to that mother left the room. She shut the door and she left Toto Chan alone in the room with the headmaster. The headmaster drew over a chair and put it facing to Toto Chan. So headmaster took the chair, he just put it in front of Toto Chan and he sat like his face was in front of the face of Toto Chan, like facing each other. How you sit in front of each other? Someone who sits in front of you, his face or her face is facing your face. Your face and his face are facing each other. So headmaster also faced Toto Chan and sat in front of her. When they both were sitting down close together, he said, now they both are sitting very close together. And what did headmaster say? Tell me about yourself. Tell me anything at all you want to talk about. So headmaster gave one chance that Toto Chan, you can speak whatever you want. You can speak about your interest. He did not ask any particular question that where are you from, what is your father's name. No, nothing like that. No formal interview because she was too young for formal interview. So that headmaster said that you speak whatever you want to speak. Tell me about yourself. Tell me anything you want to talk about. Continue.
Anything I liked. Toto Chan had expected him to ask questions she would have to answer. When he said she could talk about anything she was so happy that she began straight away. It was also a bit higgledy-piggledy, but
Higgledy piggledy.
higgledy-piggledy. But she talked for all she was worth. She told the headmaster how fast the train went that they had come on, how she had asked the ticket collector but he wouldn't let her keep her ticket, how pretty her homeroom teacher
Homeroom.
was homeroom teacher was at the other school, about the swallow's nest, about their brown dog Rocky who could do all sorts of tricks, how she used to go snip snip with the scissors inside her mouth at kindergarten, and the teacher said she mustn't do that because she might cut her tongue off, but she did it anyway. How she always blew her nose because mother scolded her. If it was runny, what a good swimmer Daddy was, and how he could dive as well. She went on and on. The headmasters would laugh, nod and say, and then, and Toto Chen was so happy that she kept right on talking. But finally she ran out of things to say. She sat with her mouth closed, trying hard to think of something.
Okay. Okay. Now see, when Toto
થોડી
Chan got
ઝૂમ કરો ને પ્લીઝ.
શું કીધું ma'am?
સ્ક્રીન તમારી થોડીક ઝૂમ કરો ને, આ અક્ષર બહુ નાના લાગે છે, થોડીક જ.
Okay.
ઓકે ઓકે.
Okay. So see, what is given over here? When the principal asked, when the headmaster asked Toto Chan that you can speak anything you like. So she started about her daily routine, what she did at home, what she did at her old school. She spoke whatever came to her mind, anything. So this paragraph is about her interest. What did she like? What did she dislike? Means each and everything, what was going on in her life, she just put it in front of the headmaster. Or what all things were there. See, this paragraph is actually not that important, but we should read that what she did every day, what was the routine and what she did in her everyday life. Then she asked, anything I like? Toto Chan had expected him to ask the questions she would have to answer. So Toto Chan was expecting that headmaster would ask difficult questions, like he would ask him math sums, some science equations or something. But something related to studies would be asked. But here, what did headmaster say? You speak anything you like about. So it was totally unexpected. She did not expect that headmaster would tell this, that speak anything you like. And now she was very excited that I've got a chance. When you are told that you come on the stage and I tell you that you speak anything you like, then you can go for half an hour. You will not stop. But if I give you a particular topic that you have to speak about this particular topic, then you will have to wait. You will have to prepare. But when I say that you speak anything you like about your hobbies, interest, then you will go for half an hour. Continue. Same way, see, Toto Chan started. When he said she should talk about anything she wanted, she was so happy that she began straight away. Now see, what did she speak? What did Toto Chan tell the headmaster? It was it was all a bit higgledy-piggledy. Higgledy-piggledy means unorganized. Means she did not speak all the things in order. Higgledy-piggledy means unorganized, not in particular order, not a particular management, not in particular order, not in particular management, unorganized. You can say that is higgledy-piggledy. So she started, but she talked for all she was worth. All she was worth means whatever things she liked. She thought that these things are important. Whatever things came to her mind, she spoke all that things. What were that things? She told the headmaster how fast the train went when they had come when they had come on. So first of all, she told headmaster about the train that they had come on. That when we came on the train was really really fast. The speed of the train. How she asked the ticket collector, but he wouldn't let her keep her tickets. Then second thing she said that I asked the ticket collector in the train that give me the ticket, I will keep it in my pocket. But the ticket collector said that no, you are a kid, you should not keep the ticket with you, give it to your mother. How pretty her homeroom teacher was at the other school, and then she described the teacher, the old school where she used to study. The teacher, maybe the female teacher, was really beautiful. Homeroom teacher, you can say kindergarten. Homeroom is the kids who are in kindergarten. The teacher was really you can say that she praised the beauty of the teacher of the previous school. About the swallow's nest. Swallows means the birds. You know that swallows are the birds. So then she talked about the swallow's nest. She liked the swallow's nest, to look at the swallow's nest. But about the brown dog Rocky, then she said that we also have a dog, brown color dog, and his name is Rocky, who could do all sorts of tricks. And that Rocky was very mischievous dogs. He played a lot of tricks on them. How she used to go snip with the scissors inside her mouth at kindergarten, and she used to she liked maybe she liked craft, and she snip. Means snip is the sound of the scissor. When you use scissor, that sound that comes from the scissor when you cut something is snip sound. So maybe sometimes she put the scissor in the mouth, because kindergarten children are you can say young children, and they don't know, and sometimes they put the scissors in the mouth and they get hurt. So in the kindergarten she put the scissors in the mouth, and the teacher said she must not do that because she might cut her tongue off. And the kindergarten teacher scolded that don't put the scissors inside the mouth. You will get hurt. You will cut off your tongue. But she did it anyway. But she did not obey the teacher. She did as she liked because she was mischievous. How how she always blew her nose because mother scolded her if it was runny. And always, the children, they blew their nose, and they don't understand that they should put their handkerchief. And mother scolded that if your nose is runny, that you should put a handkerchief on your nose. The others don't like it. They will not sit beside you if you don't put a handkerchief if it is runny. What a good swimmer Daddy was, and how he could dive as well. So then she also told about her daddy. That daddy also played violin nicely, and he was also a good swimmer. He liked swimming, and he could dive. Dive means to jump in the.
સોરી સોરી બેટા સ્ક્રીન શરૂ છે બિગ રોઝ કરીને જેનું છે ને એ તમારો વિડીયો બંધ બિગ રોઝ તમારો વિડીયો શરૂ છે બેટા તો એ બંધ કરી દે દીકરા ઓકે સર
Okay. So here, the daddy of Toto Chan, he was a good swimmer, and he could also dive, means to jump in the water from a height. So he was also a good diver, you can say a good swimmer. So that all things Toto Chan told to the headmaster. She went on and on. Now Toto Chan did not stop. She continuously spoke for a few minutes. She spoke whatever came to her mind. The headmaster, who laughed, nod and say, nod means to move your head, nodding. So headmaster laughed and said, and then headmaster asked that, what else? Do you want to say anything else? Do you want to speak? Then Toto Chan was so happy that she kept right on talking. Then Toto Chan was very happy that still she is getting chance. The principal is still asking her more about her life, and she was very happy. And she kept on talking for a few minutes. But finally she ran out of things. Ran out of things means she did not know what else to say. Now she stopped, because whatever was on her mind, all these things she said to the headmaster. But now there were no other things. She ran sort of things. Now she did not have anything else to say. She sat with her mouth closed, trying hard to think of something. Now she was sitting quietly. Finally, the things on her mind were over. All the things were over. Now she did not know what else to speak about. But still, headmaster said that continue, whatever you want to say, you can. But now she was thinking about something else. Okay. Someone else I want to read. Who else will read? Your names, please. Tamanna, read, please.
Yes, sir. Haven't you anything more you can tell me? Asked the headmaster. What a shame to stop now, Toto Chen thought. It was such a wonderful chance. Wasn't there anything else she could talk about? She wondered, racing her brains. Then she had an idea.
Yes, your voice. Okay, no problem. So, haven't you anything more you can tell me? Asked the headmaster. So, headmaster said that, okay, that's enough. Do you have anything else? Do you want to share anything else with me? What a shame to stop now, Toto Chan thought. So, Toto Chan thought it was very shameful that still headmaster wants to listen to me, but I don't have something else to speak. Now all the things on her mind got over. So she felt shameful that I should speak something, but I don't have anything else to speak. What should I speak? It was such a wonderful chance, and for the first time in her life, she got this chance that she could speak anything about she liked about. And now, after getting this chance, she could only speak this much. Now she doesn't have anything else to speak. It was a golden chance for her, a wonderful chance. Wasn't there anything else she could talk about? She wondered, racking her brain. See, it is given here. When you pressurize your brain, when you are unable to recall something, you remember something, you try hard, you put the pressure on your brain. That is called racking your brain. In the exam, you rack your brains to recall the answers, the long answers. So here, Toto Chan was racking her brains that what else should I speak? Please, she was pressurizing her brain. As a kid, being a kid also, she was racking her brains that I want to speak something else. And she was pressurizing her brain. Then she had an idea. Now finally, she got something else on her mind. Now she had something else to speak. Again, she will continue like this. She will again start speaking. She was like a chatterbox. Many of you are like chatterbox, In the class, you go on talking and talking and talking and you don't stop unless you are scolded. So Toto Chan was like one of you. I'm not telling anyone personally, so don't mind. Yes, continue.
She could tell him about the dress she was wearing that day. Mother made most of her dresses, but this one came from a shop. Her clothes were always torn. When she came home in the late afternoon, some of the ripped were quite bad. Mother never knew how they got that way. Even her white cotton pants were sometimes in she
Shreds.
shreds. She explained to the headmaster that they got torn when she crossed other people's gardens while crawling under their fence, and when the born
Borrowed.
borrowed under the bare bed
Barbed. Barbed.
barbed wire around vacant lots. So this morning she said when she was getting dressed to come here,
Here.
all the nice dress that mother had made were torn, so she had to wear one mother had bought. It had small dark red and grey cheeks and
Checks.
was made of head jersey, and it wasn't bad, but mother thought the red flower embroidered on the
A- em-
collar
embroidered.
embroidered on the collar were in bad taste. Mother doesn't like the collar, said Toto Chen, holding it up for the headmaster to see.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Now we shall continue this, but first I want to ask some questions because we have very less time. So now I can see the chat box. As you can see, my screen. Now, do you have? If you have any doubts, and type it. I opened the chat box till here. Means not the last paragraph that we read, but till that racking our brains till there. Because we have 2 minutes left, so I want to ask the doubts. And if you don't have doubts, I will ask you the questions. See, I am just typing the question. Give me the answer. Okay. Let me not type because we have less time. Just tell me the answer. What favor did Toto Chan want to ask the headmaster? What favor did Toto Chan want to ask the headmaster?
The Toto Chen, sir, may I answer?
Yes.
Toto Chen wants the favor that he's postmaster or headmaster.
Well, well tried. Someone else? Can anyone else give me the answer? What favor did Toto Chen ask the headmaster? Muskan?
Yes, sir.
What favor did Toto Chen ask the headmaster? Means what help did she ask the headmaster?
Sir, can I answer?
Yes.
She wanted to come to his school, that school.
Yes. She wanted to get the admission, and that favor she
School.
asked the headmaster. Yes, good. Then next question. Now see Muskan, if you can give the answer, you can give, or else it's okay. That why did Toto Chan have a moment's uneasiness? For a moment, she felt uncomfortable. Why did she have a moment's uneasiness?
Sir,
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 Sir, can I?
Sir, can I?
Yes. One minute. See, all of you are unmuting your mic all together. Yes, Con and Sakina.
Because at that time, her mother was that principal told that his mother to go out. That's why.
Okay, good. So yes, some of you are asking me that, sir, we have to write everything in Fairbook. I will tell you, I will just pass on the notes when you have to write in Fairbook because many of you have not got the notebooks at home. You just have got the rough books, right? So I am not making it compulsory, but soon I will tell you that you have to write the whole chapter in the Fairbook, but not yet. For now, you have to write everything in the rough book, whatever homeworks you are getting of other subjects and of my subject. If teachers are telling you, if other teachers are telling you, then it's okay. But for my subject, it's not compulsory yet. I will let you know. Okay. So I hope it is clear, and we shall continue this